great hall of the Galactic Council stood silent. 200 alien species watched as Ambassador Chen walked to the center platform. His footsteps echoed in the massive chamber. Every eye followed him. Something felt different today. For 200 years, humans had served the Council. They built trade routes between distant stars. They protected weak planets from pirates. They shared their technology freely. They asked for little in return. Just respect. Just fairness. But respect never came. Ambassador Chen reached the speaking stone. He placed his hand on the ancient surface. The blue light scanned his palm. His voice would now reach every corner of the galaxy. Honored council members, Chen began. His voice was calm, too calm. I bring a message from Earth and all human colonies. Council leader Zix leaned forward. The tall gray alien smiled with his 3 mouths. Speak quickly, human. We have important matters to discuss today. Other council members laughed. They always laughed at humans. Humans were young. Humans were simple. Humans should feel grateful just to sit in this chamber. Chen did not smile back. After careful consideration, humanity has made a decision. He paused. The chamber grew quiet. We are leaving the Galactic Council. Effective immediately, silence, then chaos. Leaving? Zix stood up fast. His chair crashed behind him. You cannot leave. Who gave you permission? We don't need permission, Chen said softly. We joined freely. We leave freely. Council member Thora laughed loudly. Her snake-like body shook with amusement. You foolish creatures. You need us. Where will you sell your goods? Who will protect your small planet? Chen's face showed no emotion. We will manage. Another council member shouted. You are nothing without the council. We made you important. We gave you purpose. Ambassador Chen looked around the chamber slowly. He looked at each alien face. Some showed anger. Some showed confusion. None showed respect. For 200 years, Chen said, human ships have carried 70% of all medical supplies in this galaxy. Our doctors have saved billions of lives. Our engineers have fixed your broken stations. Our soldiers have died protecting your borders. Yes. Zix waved his hand dismissively. And we allowed you to do these things. You should thank us. Thank you. Chen's voice grew harder. We have asked for fair payment 47 times. You have rejected us 47 times. We have requested equal voting rights. You have laughed. We have asked for basic respect. You have given us insults. You are being emotional, Thora hissed. This is why young species should not have power. You cannot handle simple business. Chen reached into his coat. He pulled out a data crystal. He placed it on the speaking stone. Holographic numbers filled the air above him. These are the debts you owe humanity, Chen said. 3 trillion galactic credits, payment promised but never delivered. For medicines, for protection, for technology, for 200 years of service. The numbers glowed in the air. Every council member could see them. The chamber fell silent again. These debts, Zix started, will never be paid, Chen finished. We know this. You have made it clear. Words mean nothing here. Promises mean nothing. Only power matters in this council. Finally, the human understands. Another alien shouted. Yes, power is what matters. And you have no power. Chen smiled then. It was not a happy smile. It was something else. Something that made a few of the wiser council members feel uncomfortable. You are right, Chen said. Humans have no power in this council. But we have power elsewhere. Tomorrow morning you will understand. He picked up the data crystal. He turned to leave. Wait, Zix commanded. You cannot just walk away. There are procedures. There are forms. There are... Goodbye, Chen said simply. He walked toward the exit. His footsteps echoed again in the silent chamber. 200 species watched him go. Most still smiled. They thought humans were bluffing. They thought humans would come back begging within a week. Only a few looked worried. Only a few understood that humans never bluffed. The doors closed behind Ambassador Chen. The council chamber erupted in conversation. Aliens talked over each other. Some celebrated. Some argued. None took the human threat seriously. Council leader Zix laughed loudest of all. Let them go! They will realize their mistake soon enough. The galaxy does not need humans. But deep in the records chamber, an old alien named Keeper Voss pulled up human files. He read through 2 centuries of human service. His hands began to shake. Oh no, he whispered to himself. What have we done? The answer would come tomorrow. When the lights started going out, when the supply ship stopped arriving, when the protection vanished. Tomorrow, the Galactic Council would learn a terrible lesson. Some species you can insult. Some species you can cheat. But humans remember everything. And humans always keep their word. They said goodbye. They meant it. The morning sun rose over the council headquarters. Everything looked normal. The great towers still reached toward the sky. The transport ships still moved between buildings. Council members arrived for their daily meetings. Nobody noticed the silence yet. Council leader Zix entered his office feeling pleased. "The humans will return soon," he told his assistant. "They always do what we want. They are too soft, too kind. That is their weakness." His assistant nodded, but she looked at her datapad with concern. "So there is something strange in the reports today." "What reports?" Zix sat in his chair. He touched the control panel. Nothing happened. He touched it again. Still nothing. "The systems are running slow, sir," his assistant said quietly. "The human technicians did not come for their morning shift." Zix laughed. "So, we have our own technicians. Call them." She hesitated. "Sir, our technicians do not know how to fix these systems. The humans built them. Only humans know how they work." "Then they will teach our people," Zix said dismissively. "Send a message to the human technical department." "I tried, sir." "They do not answer." For the first time, Zix felt a small touch of worry, but he pushed it away. "Fine. We will manage without them for one day." That was hour 1. By hour 3, the medical centers began reporting problems. Medicine shipments had not arrived. The cargo ships from human colonies never came. Hospital directors called the council in panic. "Where are our supplies?" they demanded. "We have sick patients. We need medicine now." The council checked the shipping schedules. Their faces went pale. 40% of all medical supplies came from human worlds. Another 30% traveled on human ships. "Contact the human medical director," someone ordered. The message came back immediately. Just 3 words. "Contract terminated, goodbye." Hour 5 brought worse news. The outer border stations reported pirate ships gathering. The stations sent distress calls. They requested human security forces. No response came. Station Commander Krell called the council directly. "Where are the human patrol ships?" "Pirates are preparing to attack. We need protection now." "Send our own military ships," Zix ordered. "Sir, our ships are 3 days away. The human rapid response team could be here in 2 hours. Please contact them." The council tried. Every channel stayed silent. The humans had gone completely quiet. By hour 12, the situation grew critical. 20 planets reported supply shortages. 15 stations requested emergency protection. 8 major trade routes sat empty and unguarded. Council member Thora slithered into the emergency meeting. "This is unacceptable. The humans are being childish. They have responsibilities." "Responsibilities they are no longer paid for," Keeper Voss said quietly. Everyone turned to look at him. The old alien rarely spoke in council meetings. "What do you mean?" Zix demanded. Voss activated a hologram. Numbers and charts filled the air. "I spent the night reviewing our agreements with humans. We owe them 3 trillion credits. We promised payment 200 times. We paid them 0 times. Business negotiations," Zix said. "Nothing more." "No," Voss said firmly. "Theft. We stole their services. We used their people. We took everything and gave nothing. They finally stopped working for free." "They are required to," Thora began. "Required by whom?" Voss interrupted. "They left the council. We have no authority over them anymore. No contracts, no agreements, nothing." The room fell silent. Hour 18 brought the first disaster. A pirate fleet attacked Trading Station Omega. The station defenders fought bravely, but they were badly outnumbered. They sent desperate calls for help. Human patrol ships were only 30 minutes away. In the past, they would have responded immediately. Humans always helped people in danger, but today the human ships continued their patrol route. They ignored the distress calls. They followed their new orders exactly. They protected human space only. Station Omega fell in 2 hours. 3,000 aliens died. The news spread across the galaxy like fire. People were shocked. Humans had always come to help. Always. For 200 years, humans saved anyone who called for help. But not anymore. By hour 24, the council chamber filled with angry representatives. Planets demanded answers. Trade companies demanded solutions. Military commanders demanded action. Council leader Zix stood before them all. For the first time in his long life, he felt real fear. "We will resolve this situation," he promised. "The humans are being unreasonable, but they will see sense soon." "When?" someone shouted. "When my people are dying. When pirates control our space. When our economy collapses." Zix had no answer. In his private office, he composed a message to Earth. His hands shook slightly as he typed. The words felt heavy in his mouth. "Honorable human leaders, perhaps we can discuss this situation. There may have been misunderstandings. We are willing to negotiate new terms. Please respond." He sent the message. He waited. 1 hour later, the response came. Just 3 words. 3 words that made his blood run cold. "Pay your debts." Zix stared at the screen. 3 trillion credits. The council treasury did not have that much. They had spent it on other things. Important things. Council things. But humans did not care about council things. Humans cared about broken promises, about stolen labor, about 200 years of disrespect, and now the galaxy was paying the price. Outside his window, Zix watched the lights of the city. How many of those lights depended on human technology? How many ships in orbit carried human engines? How many lives were saved by human medicine? He had never asked these questions before. Humans were just there, always working, always helping, always invisible until they were gone. "What have we done?" Zix whispered to himself, but he already knew the answer. They had broken the one species that held the galaxy together, and now everything was falling apart. Day 1 was ending. The first day without humans. Tomorrow would be worse. Week 1 began quietly. Too quietly. Council leader Zix sat in the emergency command center. Screens covered every wall. Each screen showed a different crisis. Red alerts blinked everywhere. He had not slept in 3 days. "Report," he said tiredly. His assistant read from her data pad. Her voice shook. 15 planets report food shortages. Medical supplies are down 70% across the galaxy. Pirate attacks have increased by 300%. And sir, the Krovan Empire has declared war on the Setian Republic. War? Zix stood up fast. Why? Border dispute. Normally, human peacekeepers would have stopped it. But there are no human peacekeepers anymore. Zix sat back down slowly. His head hurt. Everything hurt. "How many humans worked as peacekeepers?" he asked quietly. 42,000, sir. They managed border disputes in 78 sectors. They prevented wars. They saved lives. She paused. They did it for almost no payment. Zix closed his eyes. "Continue the report. The agricultural planets are failing, sir. Humans ran the major farming colonies. They shared their crops freely. Now those farms have closed. They only feed human worlds now." "We have our own farms," Zix said weakly. "Not enough, sir. Human farms produced 60% of the galaxy's food supply. We never knew because the food was always there. We never asked where it came from." Another screen flashed red. Then another. Then 5 more, sir. A technician shouted. "Station 12 is going dark. Life support is failing. Send repair teams." Zix ordered. "Sir, our repair teams do not know how to fix human technology. They are trying, but what? The station will die in 6 hours. 300,000 people live there." Zix grabbed his communication device. He sent an emergency message to the nearest human colony. "This is Council Leader Zix. We have a humanitarian crisis. Station 12 is dying. Please help. I beg you." The response came in 2 minutes. "Request denied. Hire human engineers at standard rates. Payment required in advance. Have a nice day." Zix stared at the message. Standard rates, payment in advance. These were the same terms humans had requested for 200 years. The same terms the Council had always refused. Now people would die because of that refusal. "Evacuate the station," Zix said quietly. "Save who we can." Week 2 brought worse news. Much worse. The Galactic defense network collapsed. Humans had built it. Humans had maintained it. Humans had operated it for free, believing it protected everyone, but everyone had never appreciated it. Now the network was full of holes. Pirates poured through like water through a broken dam. They attacked merchant ships. They raided weak colonies. They grew bold and dangerous. The Council military tried to respond. They sent their best ships, their finest commanders, their strongest warriors. They failed completely. Why? Zix demanded. Why can we not stop these pirates? Admiral Kent stood before the council. The old warrior looked exhausted. Because humans taught us everything we know about modern warfare, but they did not teach us everything they knew. Explain, Council Member Thora hissed. Human tactics are different, Kent said carefully. They think differently. They fight differently. We copied their methods, but we never understood their thinking. Now we face pirates using human weapons. Pirates who learned from watching human battles, and we cannot defeat them. Then hire human mercenaries. Someone shouted. Kent shook his head. I tried. They want payment. Real payment. Not promises. Not credits we might pay someday. Real money deposited before they fight. How much? Zix asked. More than the council treasury holds. Silence filled the chamber. We could take loans, someone suggested weakly. From whom? Keeper Voss asked. The major banks are in human space, and humans are not lending money to people who never paid their debts. Week 3 arrived with devastating news. A recording leaked to the public. An old recording from 5 years ago. A secret council meeting. In it, council members discussed humans openly. Let them work for free, one voice said. They are too honorable to quit. Too kind to demand payment. We can use this weakness forever. Another voice laughed. Humans are fools. They think fairness matters. They think respect matters. In the real galaxy, only power matters. Should we pay them something? A third voice asked. To keep them happy? Why? The first voice replied. What will they do, leave? They would never abandon the weak species who need them. Their own kindness traps them. It is perfect. The recording spread across every planet, every station, every ship. People were furious. Protests erupted outside council headquarters. Thousands of aliens marched in the streets. They carried signs. Pay human debts. Council corruption. Bring humans back. This is a disaster, Thora said, watching the crowds from her window. No, Keeper Voss said quietly. This is justice. We earned this. 3 council members resigned in shame. 2 more were thrown out by angry mobs. 5 species threatened to leave the council entirely. The galaxy was tearing itself apart. In his office, Zix received a visitor. Ambassador Krell from Station Omega, or what remained of Station Omega after the pirate attack. My station is gone, Krell said. His voice was hollow, empty. 3,000 people died, including my family, because humans did not come to help. The humans, Zix began. The humans did exactly what we taught them, Krell interrupted. We taught them that kindness is weakness, that helping others is foolish, that only power matters. He leaned forward. Well, they learned the lesson. They are using their power now, for themselves, just like we always did. Krell stood to leave. At the door he turned back. I sent my son to Earth once, to study human culture. He told me humans have an old saying, you do not know what you have until it is gone. He smiled sadly. We had everything. We had protectors. We had healers. We had friends. And we threw it all away because we were too proud to say thank you. After Krell left, Zix sat alone in the darkness. Outside, the protest grew louder. Screens showed disasters across the galaxy. Everything was falling apart. He pulled up his communication device. He composed a message to Earth. Not a proud message. Not a demanding message. A desperate one. We were wrong. Please help us. He sent it to every human colony, every human station, every human ship. Then he waited. The response came 3 hours later. From Ambassador Chen himself. Your message has been received. Human leadership will consider your request. We will send representatives to meet with the council. Prepare accommodations. We will arrive in 3 days. Zix felt hope for the first time in weeks. They are coming. They will help. But Keeper Voss read the message more carefully. Look at the last line. Zix read it. His hope died. Council representatives will wait outside the meeting hall until we are ready to speak with you. Dress warmly. The weather is cold this season. They would make the council wait. Outside, in the cold. Just as the council had made humans wait so many times before. 3 days. The council would wait 3 days to learn if humanity would save them or let them fall. 3 days felt like 3 years. Council leader Zix stood outside the great hall. Rain poured from the dark sky. Cold wind cut through his robes. Beside him stood 12 other council members. The most powerful beings in the galaxy. Now they waited in the rain like common beggars. This is humiliating, Council member Thora hissed. Water dripped from her scales. We are the Galactic Council. We should not wait outside like servants. Be quiet, Keeper Voss said. He was old. The cold hurt his bones, but he stood straight. We deserve this. We did worse to them for 200 years. Hour 1 passed. Then hour 2. The council members shivered in the rain. News cameras watched from a distance. The entire galaxy was watching the mighty council wait in the cold. Inside the warm hall, Ambassador Chen sat comfortably. He drank hot tea. He read reports. He knew the council was outside. He did not care, sir, a young human assistant said. They have been waiting for 2 hours. Should we let them in? No, Chen said calmly. Let them wait. But sir, it is cold and I waited 6 hours once. Chen interrupted. Outside Council Chamber 17, in the snow, to deliver emergency medical reports. The council was having lunch. They made me wait until they finished. Then they took my reports without reading them. He sipped his tea. 2 hours is nothing. Hour 3 arrived. Council member Drac collapsed. The cold was too much for his species. Medics rushed to help him. The cameras captured everything. Zix wanted to go inside, wanted to demand entry, but he knew the truth. They had no power here. Not anymore. They could only wait and hope. Finally, after 3 hours, the doors opened. A young human woman stepped out. The council may enter now. They rushed inside gratefully. The warm air felt like heaven, but their relief died quickly. The great hall had changed. Human flags hung on the walls. Human guards stood at attention. And at the center, Ambassador Chen sat at the high table, the place where council leaders usually sat. Welcome, Chen said. His voice was polite but cold. Please sit. He pointed to low benches, the kind usually used for junior representatives. For unimportant visitors, Thora's eyes blazed with anger. You insult us. We are council leaders. We sit at the high table. You are council leaders, Chen corrected. Now you are representatives of an organization that owes humanity 3 trillion credits. Debtors do not sit at high tables. This is outrageous. Thora shouted. This is reality, Chen replied. Now sit or leave. Your choice. Slowly, painfully, the council members sat on the low benches. Cameras recorded everything. The galaxy watched their leaders humbled. Let us begin, Chen said. You requested this meeting. You said you were wrong. You asked for help. He leaned forward. I am listening. Zix stood. His legs shook. Not from cold. From shame. Ambassador Chen, humanity, we made mistakes. Serious mistakes. We did not value your contributions. We did not pay our debts. We did not show respect. True, Chen said simply. We are asking, begging, for humanity to return to the council. The galaxy is falling apart without you. People are dying. Systems are collapsing. We need your help. Also true, Chen agreed. Continue. We are prepared to negotiate new terms. Better terms. We can discuss payment plans, trade agreements, whatever you need. Chen stood up. He walked around the table. He stood directly in front of Zix. Eye to eye. You still do not understand, Chen said quietly. This is not about payment, not about trade, not about agreements. Then what? Zix asked desperately. Respect, Chen said. For 200 years, humans protected this galaxy. We saved lives. We stopped wars. We fed the hungry. We healed the sick. We asked for nothing except basic respect, basic fairness, basic honesty. He turned to address all the council members. And what did you give us? Mockery, insults, lies. You used our kindness like a tool, our honor like a weapon against us. You taught us that helping others makes us fools. We were wrong. Someone cried out, yes, you were wrong. Chen agreed. But being wrong is not the problem. Everyone makes mistakes. The problem is what you did after. He activated a hologram. Images appeared in the air. Messages, documents, recordings. Last month we gave you a chance, Chen said. We presented our debts. We explained our concerns. We asked for simple fairness. And you laughed. You called us emotional. You said only power matters in the real galaxy. The recordings played. Council members heard their own voices, their own words, their own cruelty. You were not wrong by accident, Chen continued. You were wrong by choice. You chose to cheat us. You chose to use us. You chose to break every promise you made. Silence filled the hall. So now, Chen said, humanity has made a choice too. We choose not to be your tools anymore. We choose not to save people who spit on us. We choose to protect our own people first. But innocent people are suffering, Zik shouted. People who did nothing wrong. People who need your help. Chen's eyes grew hard. Where were you when innocent humans suffered? When human colonies were attacked and you refused to send help? When human children died from diseases you could have prevented? When human workers collapsed from exhaustion serving your people? No one answered. We learned from you, Chen said coldly. You taught us well. Only power matters. Only self-interest matters. Thank you for the lesson. He turned to leave. Wait. Keeper Voss stood up. The old alien walked forward slowly. You are right. Everything you said is true. We were cruel. We were unfair. We were wrong. And we deserve your anger. Chen stopped but did not turn around. But please, Voss continued, not everyone in the galaxy is like us. There are good people out there. Kind people. People who always appreciated humans. People who never cheated you. They are suffering because of our mistakes. Not their own. Chen turned slowly. You want me to care about strangers? People I have never met? Yes, Voss said simply. Because that is what humans do. That is what makes you different from us. You help people even when they do not deserve it. Even when they cannot repay you. Even when they will never thank you. He paused. That is what makes you better than us. Chen stared at the old alien. For a long moment no one spoke. You think we are better? Chen asked quietly. I know you are, Voss replied. Because if we were in your position, we would let the galaxy burn. We would laugh while our enemies suffered. We would take revenge. He stepped closer. But you will not. Because you are human. And humans save people. That is your nature. Your curse. Your gift. Chen looked at all the council members. Proud aliens brought low. Powerful beings humbled. They had learned nothing until pain taught them. But Voss was right about one thing. Innocent people were suffering. People who never hurt humanity. Children, families, workers, simple people trying to survive. Could he abandon them to punish the council? Should he? I will take your request to Earth, Chen said finally. Human leadership will decide, not me. If they agree to help, there will be conditions. Strict conditions. The galaxy will change. The council will change. Everything will change. We accept, Zix said immediately. You have not heard the conditions yet, Chen warned. It does not matter, Zix said quietly. Nothing can be worse than this. Nothing can be worse than a galaxy without humans. Chen nodded slowly. You will have your answer in 3 days. He walked toward the door, then stopped one final time. And Council Leader Zix, when you wait for our answer, remember how this felt. Remember waiting in the cold. Remember sitting on low benches. Remember begging for help. Why? Zix asked. Because that is how humans felt every day for 200 years. And you never cared. Until now. Until you needed us. Ambassador Chen left the hall. The doors closed behind him with a final, heavy sound. The council members sat in silence. The galaxy held its breath, and everyone waited to learn if humans would forgive or if they would walk away forever. 3 days passed like an eternity. The galaxy held its breath. News channels showed nothing else. Every species watched. Every planet waited. Would humans return? Would they help? Or would they let the galaxy fall? In the council chamber, Zix sat alone. He had not slept, could not sleep. His entire world balanced on a knife's edge. Everything depended on the human answer. A message arrived. His hands shook as he opened it. Human delegation arrives tomorrow. 10 a.m. Be ready, just 4 sentences. No hints, no clues, no mercy. The next morning, Zix stood in the Great Hall. Every council member was present. Every species representative. The room was packed, silent, tense. At exactly 10 a.m. the doors opened. Ambassador Chen entered. Behind him walked 12 humans. Scientists, soldiers, engineers, teachers, workers, common people. Not politicians, not leaders. Just humans who had served the galaxy faithfully. They walked to the center of the room. Chen carried a single document. Paper, not digital. Something real. Something permanent. We have made our decision, Chen announced. His voice echoed in the silent hall. Everyone leaned forward. Hearts pounded. The entire galaxy watched. Humanity will return, Chen said. Relief flooded the room. Some aliens cried. Others cheered. Zix felt his legs go weak. They were saved. The galaxy was saved, but not like before, Chen continued. The room went silent again. Everything changes. Today, now, forever. He placed the document on the table. These are our terms, non-negotiable. Accept them all or we leave permanently. Zix picked up the document. His hand still shook. He began to read aloud. Term 1. All debts will be paid in full. 3 trillion credits. Payment schedule. 5 years. No exceptions. No delays. The council members looked at each other nervously. It was a huge amount, but they had no choice. We accept, Zix said. Term 2. Chen continued. Humans receive full voting rights in the council, equal to any other species. Our votes count. Our voices matter. No more mockery. No more dismissal. Some council members wanted to argue, but they saw Chen's face, saw the faces of the humans behind him. These were not requests. These were demands. We accept, Zix said quietly. Term 3. All trade agreements will be fair. Market rates, standard contracts, written terms. No special deals, no secret promises. Everything transparent, everything honest. We accept. Term 4. Every species pays for human services, medical care, engineering work, security protection, teachers, workers, everyone gets paid fairly. No more free labor. No more exploitation, Keeper Voss stood up. This is justice. We accept gladly. Chen nodded at the old alien. A small gesture of respect. Then he continued. Term 5. A new organization will be created. The Galactic Justice Council, independent from the main council. Humans will lead it. It will investigate corruption, protect workers' rights, ensure fair treatment for all species. You want to police us? Thora demanded. No, Chen said. We want to protect everyone, including you. Fair rules protect everyone, even the powerful, especially the powerful. Because power without justice is just tyranny, Thora wanted to argue. But she looked around the room, saw the faces watching her, the people who had suffered under council corruption. She sat down. We accept, Zix said. Term 6. Human colonies receive full independence. We rule our own worlds, manage our own affairs, make our own laws. We remain part of the galaxy, but we are not controlled by the council. This was hard. The council had always controlled member worlds, always directed them, always held power over them. But Chen's face showed no compromise. Independence or nothing, we accept, Zix said. The words felt like stones in his mouth. Final term, Chen said. He paused, looked at every face in the room. A public apology, written and recorded, sent to every human colony, every human family. Acknowledgement of 200 years of injustice. Recognition of human sacrifice. Promise to do better. Complete silence, an apology. Public admission of wrong. Loss of face, loss of pride. But what was pride compared to survival? We will do it, Zix said. Today, now, I will speak the words myself. Chen studied him carefully. You understand what this means? The galaxy will know the council failed. They will know you were wrong. Wrong for 200 years. I know, Zix said quietly. But it is the truth, and truth matters more than pride. For the first time, Chen smiled. A small smile, sad but real. Perhaps there is hope for you after all, he said. He handed the document to Zix. Sign it. All council members, make it official. One by one they signed. Some with anger, some with shame, all with relief. The galaxy would survive. After the last signature, Chen spoke again. The changes begin immediately. Human ships will resume patrols tomorrow. Medical supplies ship out tonight. Engineers return to their stations within the week. Thank you, Zix said. The words felt inadequate, too small for the moment. Do not thank us yet, Chen replied. We are not doing this for you. We are doing this for the innocent people who need help, for the children who need medicine, for the workers who need protection, for everyone who suffered because of your mistakes. He turned to leave, then stopped, looked back one final time. You asked earlier why humans would return, why we would help people who betrayed us. I will tell you now. The room listened carefully. Because that is what being human means, Chen said. We remember the bad. We never forget injustice. But we also remember the good. We remember every person we saved, every life we protected, every child we healed. He gestured to the humans behind him. My friend here, Dr. Sarah Kim. She delivered 3,000 alien babies in her career. 3,000 new lives. She never met most of them again. Never got thanked. But she knows they are out there, living, growing, thriving. Dr. Kim nodded, tears in her eyes. And Captain Marcus Stone, Chen continued. He stopped 17 wars before they started. 17 times he stood between angry species and said, "Talk first, fight never." He saved millions of lives. People who will never know his name. Captain Stone stood straight, proud but humble. "Every human here has stories like this," Chen said. "Thousands of stories, millions of lives touched. That is what we will lose if we walk away. Not power, not respect, not payment. We will lose the chance to help, the chance to serve, the chance to make things better." He looked directly at Zix. "You thought our kindness was weakness. Our compassion was foolishness. You were wrong. Kindness is the hardest thing in the universe. It costs everything and guarantees nothing. But we choose it anyway, because someone has to. Because if not us, then who?" Chen walked to the door. "The galaxy is broken. Corruption everywhere. Injustice everywhere. Pain everywhere. One species cannot fix all that. But we can try. We can help. We can serve." He paused at the threshold. "That is why we came back. Not because you deserve it, because the galaxy needs it. And humans answer when we are needed, even when it hurts, even when it costs everything, even when no one says thank you. That is what makes you dangerous," Keeper Voss said softly. "That is what makes you powerful. Not your weapons, not your ships, not your technology, your unwillingness to give up on others. Even when they give up on you." Chen smiled again. "Perhaps you understand after all, old friend." He left. The other humans followed. The doors closed. The council sat in silence for a long time. Outside, the news spread. Humans were returning. The galaxy was saved. People celebrated in the streets. But in the council chamber, no one celebrated. They had won, but they had lost something more important. They had lost their pride, their power, their control, and gained something else, something better. They had gained a teacher, a mirror, a reminder of what they should have been all along: fair, honest, kind. Zix stood slowly. He walked to the communication center. He composed the apology. Every word hurt, every sentence burned, but he wrote it anyway. "The truth, we were wrong. We are sorry. We will do better." Simple words, powerful words, true words. He sent it to every human colony. Then he sat down and waited. The response came from Earth, from the human president herself. Just 3 words: "We believe you." Not "we forgive you." Not "we trust you." Just "we believe you." Belief was enough. Belief was a start. The galaxy began to heal that day. Slowly, painfully, but truly. And humans stood at the center of it all. Not as rulers, not as masters, as servants, as protectors, as friends. That was the human way. That was the human curse. That was the human gift. To care when caring hurts. To help when helping costs everything. To serve when service brings no reward. The council had tried to break that spirit. They had failed, because you cannot break something that chooses to stay whole. You cannot defeat people who fight for others instead of themselves. You cannot destroy those who find strength in sacrifice. The galaxy learned that lesson. Finally, the end.